This is how a broken foot in Japan ruined an entire holiday.
There is a fracture.
This is Japan trip, day 4.
And I'm Dan Thomas.
And I'll be flying from Okinawa to Fukuoka before taking the train to Nagasaki, where everything went wrong. And after a touchdown in Fukuoka, I was able to get my JR pass, giving you unlimited train travel in Japan. And after collecting a couple more station stamps for my collection, I was on my way. Riding the Shinkansen bullet train through Japan, you start to realize how much it looks like America in places. And after a few connections, I was at Nagasaki and my hotel, checking into what was called the VIP room. So let me show you my MTV crib. The hotel asked guests to wear their slippers, so I gladly obliged while looking around my new suite. And while I normally would go for something that was a bit more modern in terms of its decoration, I was intrigued by the size of this room and also this doorway, intriguingly labelled rooftop bathroom with city view, and after changing into another pair of slippers, ascended the spiral staircase. This will all become important to the story later on, trust me. And that staircase led to a semi-exposed rooftop area with its own spa bath, from which you can enjoy a panoramic view of Nagasaki that I would never get to see again. I'm sure it's lovely in the sun. I've just fallen off that step. I can't tell if my foot's just really hurting or if it's really not giving me the signal to stand up on it. But I'm really not sure about standing up on it. I don't know what I'm going to do now. My foot went down and sort of forwards and fell onto it, and it sort of doesn't really want to do anything now. I've got to get back down there. It was at that moment my travel vlog basically turned into an accessibility vlog, and had to drag myself down the spiral staircase and hop on one leg to the front desk to order a taxi to the hospital. And 2 hospitals later, the first one didn't have an A&E department, I was rushed in for a CT scan and an X-ray. Yeah, so not having one of my best days. I've just been CT scanned and X-rayed by the lovely Japanese hospital staff who very kindly fitted me in. And after the scans were done, it was time to hear my fate and that of the trip.
There is a fracture after.
Here. This is a fracture.
It wasn't the news I wanted. The foot had fractured in 2 places, and being on the other side of the world, I had to ask what that meant for me. What is my prognosis for the next 2 to 3 weeks?
Fractures near the ankle can cause severe swelling and cause neurological symptoms. So why not stay in the hospital for at least 1 night until you can see an orthopedic doctor?
Hi.
How long do you plan to stay in Japan from now on?
I have a longer term plan, but that involves a number of different places between here and Tokyo. And while I was left to wonder whether the trip could meaningfully continue, my leg was put in a splint, and I then made preparations to be hospitalised. By this point, I was absolutely running on empty and wondering if I was having some sort of nightmare. The trip that I'd been looking forward to for years had, in one move, gone drastically wrong. It was at that moment that I had to very quickly get used to, for the time being at least, life in a wheelchair or in crutches. Well, this isn't how any of this was meant to be going. And after an exhausting night and day where I was looked after amazingly well by the Nagasaki hospital staff, I was able to leave the next afternoon. Join me tomorrow as I try to work out what, if anything, can be salvaged from my trip. See you then.